Welcome to Renaissance Charge Videos. I'm Rick Friedrich, and it's exactly 2 weeks until we have a major Renaissance free energy meeting, which again includes a workshop. We're going to be covering a lot of different subjects. Some of them are new. For example, I have just invented something that I'll be presenting there. Something that I've never seen anyone else do before, and it pertains to magnetism. Magnets, actually. So we're looking at a device that is not electromagnet whatsoever. So now we're going to be presenting this in a lot of details, and it's something that you can put together at the workshop. Now, you say, well, in Western physics, magnets are not sources of energy. They're not really useful for doing anything but holding a piece of paper on your fridge. Well, not exactly. That's not really said, of course, but it's not considered a source of energy like the sun. And I will say that it is. So the sun will provide warmth and light, among other things, freely. You do not have to pay for it. And there is no evidence that it is wearing out. That's another subject. Or running out. So what do? You go outside. Today was 65 degrees. It was warm. Did you have to do anything besides walk outside to become warm? No. It was freely given to you by God. God created this universe and our solar system, and we can freely benefit from it. We can create electricity with solar panels. We can have solar heaters. It's a pretty good thing. So, what about magnets? You say, well, what can a magnet do for you practically? You have to have an electromagnet with a magnet maybe to make an energy device, like we see behind me. Well, we could make a purely magnetic motor. And this concept here is going to be a puzzle for you to figure out how you can do that, which is what I'll be teaching in the meeting. So a magnet produces a field constantly, no matter what you do to it, unless you overpower it. Like, for example, you take a magnet, like one of these magnets here, and you put it against a very strong neodymium magnet, and you'll actually change the polarity of it if you push it up against it. You can demagnetize these magnets. Well, ceramics, anyways. So, if you use a magnet for 1,000 years without subjecting it to high temperatures or electromagnetic to overcome its fields and so forth, or destroy it, then it won't continue to work for you. But there's no evidence that we are wearing out a magnet by using it in various applications, depending on which magnets, I guess. So what I'm saying to you is, if you can utilize a magnet in a open, nonlinear context, then you will be able to have free power, mechanical power. And if you add a coil to a moving magnetic system, then you could have charges, electrical charges. So what I'm going to explain here then is that a magnet can be a free energy device. Now, first I want to say something very important, which I've been saying for years. And that is, there is no free energy device that I am aware of that is not using conventional processes. It's the combination and the context of the use of parts and processes that give us something that can be self-sustaining, self-running, providing more output than you put input. This is providing more output than the operator will put into it. So that disproves the whole statement, however it's phrased. There's a variety of ways people will say it. And it will be using language in a way that's making you think that you can't do this. Now there's a number of patents showing you how to make a purely magnet motor. Question I've had for a long time, is it practical? There's better ways to do free energy. And ultimately, I always say is it worth doing? Is it better than solar? Now, it doesn't mean that if you have something that is not as good as solar or as cheap as doing solar energy as a free energy source or system, it doesn't mean that it's not worth doing all the time. So sometimes, like in my research and development, I will take different ideas and combine them together. Different free energy systems. So a magnet can be utilized in a very practical way at times. And I will refer you to the alternator. Now some of you might get what I'm meaning by those words. So I would like you to, for the others, to think about what I just said. Back up the video and think about it. I'm dropping you a clue. This is something I teach in some of my kits, and I will be teaching in this topic. So what I'm getting at is, going back to Howard Johnson, and if you look at his book on the secrets of magnetism, or whatever it's called, you will see that magnets are not what you think. Now I've written on here, whoops, there you go. You can see I just knocked it over because there's a whole lot of magnets in here. Alright, so S is for south, N is for north. Now you think that it's just all North Pole, all South Pole here, and all North Pole there, but it's not. It's actually a lot more complex. So because you're taught to think oversimplistically about magnets, therefore you don't expect to be able to do unique things with this magnet. But you can. because it isn't really a nonlinear device. And the question is, if I can do useful things with this and it doesn't lose its charge or fields or whatever you want to describe this phenomena as, if it doesn't stop, if it doesn't need to be recharged, then it's a source. It's a continuous source. Like I said, doesn't seem to be depleting with use. Now, we're not talking about the perpetual magnet holder, which is another interesting related subject, but magnets. So what can you do with magnets? Once you understand the principles of free energy, which are just the principles of science, with an open mind, open source, open system, then you apply logic and geometry and you have a lot of variety of things you can do. So we will get into these things in minute detail in the upcoming meeting in 2 weeks. So I will see you there, hopefully. Thanks for watching.